Let me tell you something most people will never say out loud. Before a man falls in love with you, he tests you, not consciously, not maliciously, but his soul, his masculine instinct, wants to know one thing. Can I trust her heart? Every man, even the strongest, even the most confident, carries this silent test. He doesn't test you with words. He tests you with moments. Moments when he pulls away, when he goes quiet, when he watches how you react to uncertainty. He's not testing to hurt you. He's testing to feel you. Before a man falls in love, he will test a woman, not because he wants to play games, but because deep down he's trying to feel safe. He wants to know if your energy can hold him when life gets real. Every man carries unseen wounds, disappointments, and doubts. He's not testing your patience, he's testing your peace. He wants to see how you react when things don't go smoothly, when he pulls away, when communication slows down, when he becomes distant for reasons he can't even explain himself. He's not watching your words, he's feeling your energy. Do you lose your calm and start chasing, or do you hold your ground and stay centered in your worth? A man's tests are never about perfection, they're about presence. He's asking with his silence, can I be imperfect around her? Can I fail and still feel respected? Can I be human and still be loved? Because every man, no matter how strong he seems, is looking for one thing: emotional safety. He's seen beauty before, he's met charm before, but real safety, real consistency, that's rare. And that's what his soul is searching for before it can surrender to love. When he pulls back, he's not trying to confuse you. He's trying to understand you. He wants to see if your affection depends on how perfect he performs, or if your care remains steady even when things aren't convenient. That's why chasing never works. The more you try to fix or prove, the more you interrupt the test. But when you stay composed, when you stay soft but sure, that's when he feels something different. That's when he feels peace. Because peace is what every man is craving but won't admit. It's not the loud, dramatic love that makes a man fall. It's the quiet confidence, the woman who doesn't lose herself in uncertainty. When your energy says, I trust myself no matter what you do, he feels it. That's the energy that breaks his walls. He doesn't fall for the woman who tries to control him. He falls for the one who lets him feel safe to be himself. Because once a man feels that, he stops testing and starts trusting. And that's when real love begins to grow. He doesn't test your words, he tests your energy. A man can hear everything you say, but what truly reaches him is what you radiate. You can tell him you're confident, but if your energy is anxious, he'll feel the fear before he hears the words. You can say you trust him, but if your vibe shifts the moment he pulls away, he'll feel that tension instantly. Men are not always logical when it comes to connection. They're intuitive. They feel your tone, your energy, your silence, your presence. That's what tells him who you really are, not the pretty things you say to prove it. When a man pulls back, he's not listening for explanations. He's sensing your vibration. Do you panic and try to chase the connection? Or do you breathe and trust your value? Because your energy in those moments is what separates the women who attract love effortlessly from those who keep losing themselves trying to earn it. When your energy says, I'm fine even when you step back, it creates an invisible pull that draws him closer. But when your energy screams, I need you to reassure me, it pushes him further away, even if your words sound calm. A man feels the energy of desperation faster than the words of love. He feels when you're performing confidence instead of living it. He feels when your affection is pure and when it's a strategy to keep him interested. That's why stillness is more powerful than reaction. And silence is sometimes louder than any message you could send. It's not about pretending to be strong. It's about truly knowing that you're safe within yourself, no matter what he does. Your energy teaches him how to treat you. When your presence is peaceful, when your emotions are steady, when your words align with your self-worth, he feels that alignment and it calms his masculine nature. Because deep down, every man wants a woman whose energy feels like home, not a battlefield of fear and insecurity. Your energy is your message. Your peace is your magnet. When you can hold your own vibration without needing him to validate it, you become unforgettable. Because words can be ignored, but energy changes everything. Your calm is more powerful than your chase. The moment you start chasing a man, you shift the balance of energy. You step out of your power and into pursuit. and that instantly changes how he sees you. Because a man doesn't fall for a woman who runs after him. He falls for a woman who knows that her peace is her power. The calm woman doesn't need to demand attention because her stillness speaks louder than any words she could say. She understands that presence is stronger than pressure. When she feels distant, she doesn't panic, she breathes. When he withdraws, she doesn't crumble, she observes. Her calm tells him that she's not controlled by his actions, and that makes her energy magnetic. Chasing comes from fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. But calm comes from confidence. Confidence that you can never lose what's meant for you. Confidence that your value doesn't decrease when someone pulls away. And that energy, that quiet self-assurance, is what every man feels when he's around a woman who truly knows her worth. A woman who chases tells a man, "You're the prize." But a woman who stays calm tells him, "I am the prize too." That realization changes everything. When you chase, you feed his ego. When you stay calm, you feed his respect. Because calm energy doesn't beg, it doesn't rush, it doesn't force. It allows space for him to choose you freely, and that freedom makes him want you even more. Men crave women who make them feel peace, not pressure. And your calm becomes the mirror that shows him his own chaos. He starts realizing that your silence isn't indifference, it's power. Your stillness isn't weakness, it's emotional control. And that control is intoxicating to a man who's used to being pursued, begged for, or emotionally overwhelmed. A woman's calm tells him she's not playing for attention, she's living from alignment. And that's the moment desire deepens. Because a man may chase many women, but he commits to the one whose peace he can't find anywhere else. Your calm is not the absence of emotion, it's the presence of power. It's the energy that makes a man stop testing, stop running, and start respecting. The real test is emotional consistency. Every man has seen attraction before. He's felt chemistry, he's admired beauty, but emotional consistency is what makes him stay. It's what tells him you're different. Anyone can be sweet when things are perfect, but not everyone can remain kind, calm, and centered when things get confusing. That's where a man truly observes a woman. He watches how she handles discomfort. He notices if her energy shifts the second she doesn't get her way, if she becomes distant, cold, or reactive when he disappoints her. Because a man doesn't fall in love with the woman who's perfect. He falls in love with the woman who's emotionally stable. Consistency doesn't mean pretending to be emotionless. It means having emotional maturity. It's the ability to express your feelings without losing your balance. It's the strength to say, "I'm hurt," without turning it into punishment or chaos. It's knowing when to communicate and when to step back. That calm control tells a man, "I can trust her energy even when life gets heavy." And that's when desire transforms into respect. Because beauty may capture a man's attention, but consistency captures his loyalty. When you're emotionally consistent, you become predictable in the best way. Not boring, safe. Safe for him to open up, safe for him to relax, safe for him to take off the armor he wears in every other part of his life. You become the space where he doesn't have to guess who you'll be today. That reliability doesn't kill excitement. It builds deeper attraction. Because true intimacy only grows when both people know they won't be punished for being human. Inconsistency, on the other hand, creates emotional whiplash. It makes him unsure whether your love is real or conditional. One day he feels adored, the next day he feels tested. That chaos drains him and makes him pull away, not because he doesn't care, but because he can't find peace in unpredictability. But when your energy remains grounded, steady, kind, unwavering, you become unforgettable. Emotional consistency isn't weakness. It's the rarest form of strength. Because in a world full of drama and reaction, the woman who can love calmly, consistently, and without fear becomes the woman every man can't forget. He falls for how you make him feel, not what you do. You can impress a man with effort, with beauty, with everything you think he wants, but none of it will make him fall if his heart doesn't feel safe in your presence. A man might be drawn to what he sees, but he stays for what he feels. The truth is, men remember emotions more than moments. They remember how your energy made them breathe easier, how your voice calmed their chaos, how your presence made them feel seen without judgment. You can be perfect on paper, but if your energy brings him stress instead of peace, He'll start to detach no matter how much you give. It's not the gifts, the compliments, or the constant attention that build connection. It's the emotional experience he has when he's with you. If you make him feel like he can be himself without fear, you become rare to him. Because most men spend their lives pretending to be strong, confident, unshakable. When he meets a woman whose energy tells him, you don't have to perform here, he starts to open up in ways he never has before. That's when attraction becomes emotional attachment, not because you did something grand, but because your energy felt like home. A man doesn't fall in love because you give him everything. He falls in love because he feels everything when he's around you. Your softness, your tone, your silence, your warmth, those are the things that touch him deeper than any words ever could. You become a feeling he can't explain but can't forget. That's why when you chase or try to prove your value, you break that emotional spell. You turn what was peaceful into pressure, and no man stays where he feels drained. But when your presence is calm, when your energy feels pure, when you can hold space without demanding validation, he starts associating you with emotional safety. And that safety turns into desire, because a man doesn't fall for the woman who impresses him. He falls for the woman who grounds him. He may forget the things you say, but he'll never forget the peace he felt when you said nothing at all. The woman who passes every test is the one who never loses herself. She doesn't crumble when he pulls away. She doesn't beg when he goes silent, and she doesn't twist herself to fit what she thinks he wants. She stands in her truth, not because she's trying to win, but because she refuses to betray her own soul for temporary attention. That kind of woman radiates a power that can't be explained. The kind that makes a man stop and think, what is it about her? It's not arrogance, it's alignment. She knows who she is even when love feels uncertain. And that kind of energy is magnetic. It's unshakable. It's rare. When a woman forges herself, she becomes reactive. She starts chasing approval instead of connection. She starts pleasing instead of being authentic. And every time she does that, she teaches the man that her boundaries are negotiable, that her self-worth depends on his behavior. But the woman who never loses herself teaches the opposite, that her love is strong, but her standards are stronger. She can care deeply without collapsing. She can love fully without losing her identity. That emotional independence makes a man feel both respect and desire, because she's showing him she doesn't need him. She chooses him. A man feels that difference immediately. He senses when a woman's affection comes from power and when it comes from fear. The one who comes from fear tries to control the outcome. The one who comes from power controls her energy. She doesn't chase, she doesn't compete, she doesn't force, she simply embodies her worth. That presence alone becomes irresistible because it commands respect without asking for it. When you never lose yourself, you set the tone for how a man loves you. You show him that you can walk away if you have to, that your peace will always come before your pride, and that your value isn't up for negotiation. That energy changes everything. Because men don't fall for the woman who gives up herself for love. They fall for the woman who reminds them what self-respect looks like. The woman who doesn't lose herself is the one every man remembers because her love feels powerful. Not because she's perfect, but because she's whole.